KPBS On Demand is supported by Paint Care, offering households and businesses in California more than 800 leftover paint drop-off sites for recycling. Quantities of 100-plus gallons of paint may qualify for a large volume pickup. Learn more at paintcare.org.
Good morning, I'm Lawrence K. Jackson. It's Thursday, December 4th. The Trump administration is threatening to withhold funds for CalFresh. More on that next, but first, the headlines. Carlsbad's city council voted yes Tuesday to approve and adopt staff's recommendation of banning children 12 and under from operating e-bikes. It also prohibits riders under 16 from carrying passengers. According to city data, since 2022, there have been 9 e-bike crashes involving riders 12 and under. Carlsbad resident Kelly Miller supports the ban.
I think maybe along with that legislation, they should probably think about, or if it's possible, to incorporate some type of educational base, maybe some training that could go on to allow these kids to be safer on the streets.
Carlsbad was the first city in the county to pass laws making it easier to enforce e-bike safety. A new study out of UC San Diego says there is a strong link between those who have experienced intimate partner violence and firearm ownership. The study's findings are from an analysis of statewide surveys in California and Louisiana. The results suggest that adults in California and Louisiana, regardless of being considered the perpetrator or the victim in a dispute, are statistically more likely to own firearms or to have purchased one in the last year. The co-author of the study says it stresses the need for an improved integration of violence prevention, mental health, and firearm policy. The highest tides of the year are expected to begin today. They're called king tides, and they can be 1 to 1.5 feet higher than the average high tide. Scientists say sea level rise makes them more disruptive. Tides are getting higher and extending further inland. In San Diego, high tides are expected to be more than 7 feet high through Saturday. The California Coastal Commission wants the public to help document them by taking photos and videos. Annie Kohut-Frankel is with the Coastal Commission.
What does water that's 1 to 2 feet higher than usual look like? Does that match what our projections are for sea level rise of that amount?
She says scientists will compare those photos to their climate change models. From KPBS, you're listening to San Diego News Now. Stay with me for more of the local news you need.
Here in Southern California, we know all too well the devastation wildfires can cause. That's why our mission is to stop the next one before it starts. I'm Brian D'Agostino, leader of SDG&E's Wildfire and Climate Science team, and we've built one of the most advanced wildfire prevention programs in the country, with a team of world-class meteorologists using artificial intelligence and real-time weather data, all to help keep our communities safe. We're also building a stronger grid and using public safety power shutoff when necessary because, believe me, I've seen firsthand how unpredictable wildfires can be. But here at SDG&E, we face that uncertainty head-on to help keep you safe. Learn more at sdge.com/wildfire-safety.
The Trump administration says it may withhold money for administering federal food assistance in California starting next week. The program is known as CalFresh in the state. Reporter Jacob Bear says this is the latest in an ongoing battle over releasing recipients' names and immigration status.
Just weeks after federal food benefits were restored following the government shutdown, some CalFresh funding is in limbo once again. This time, it's administrative funds. San Diego Food Bank CEO Casey Castillo says it's a frustrating series of events. They're already dealing with high demand.
We hope this is resolved soon. Again, these are real people. These are real families. These are seniors.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture says the action will not directly affect the benefits people receive. They say California and other states are refusing to provide data the department requested. That includes names and immigration status of aid recipients. They say they need this data in order to root out fraud. California Attorney General Rob Bonta is leading a lawsuit along with 21 other states to block the transfer of information. Jacob Ayer, KPBS News.
The Armed Services Committees in both the House and Senate are launching investigations into the Pentagon's airstrikes against alleged South American drug traffickers. Military reporter Andrew Dyer says the questionable legality of the strikes puts service members at risk of prosecution.
Republican lawmakers have embraced a more hands-off approach to oversight of the second Trump administration, but news that 2 survivors of a September airstrike on an alleged drug boat were killed in an additional attack while clinging to debris in the water have the strikes under renewed scrutiny. San Diego Congresswoman Sara Jacobs is on the House Armed Services Committee. She says the administration's legal argument for the strikes doesn't hold water.
I have been briefed. I have read the legal opinion. What I can say is that their legal argument is not convincing. It is bonkers, truthfully.
She says the strikes put service members in a difficult situation because just following orders is not a valid defense.
There is not a statute of limitations on the UCMJ, and we want to make sure we're protecting our service members from being asked to conduct unlawful operations that they could later be held accountable for.
Jacobs says she expects Congress to be briefed in the next couple of weeks, but public hearings haven't yet been scheduled. Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
County Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer will hold a community meeting tonight about a plan to drill for oil off California's coast. Last month, the Trump administration said it plans to allow new oil drilling off the coast for the first time in decades. Lawson-Remer represents most of the county's coast. She says the administration made no attempt to get public input before releasing the plan, so she's holding her own town hall with the help of several environmental groups.
I think we're all coming together to just say, hey, what is this issue facing our community, and how can we get involved to do something about it?
The Federal Bureau of Ocean Energy Management is taking comments about the plan online at regulations.gov. Lawson-Remer says the county and state have worked hard to move toward renewable and clean energy, and she doesn't want that progress to stop. The meeting is at 6 o'clock Thursday at the Encinitas Community Center. When you think of history, you might think of the past, but San Diego's History Center has its sights set on the future with the Women's Museum of California. Anchor Maya Trabulsi takes us to the Center for Women's History, where that history is preserved and created.
We deserve to be here, and we are here now, and it's very exciting.
San Diego History Center trustee Sandra Moss says history is happening now in this shared repository for San Diego stories, and she says there is no better space for it.
Balboa Park is the jewel of San Diego. So many important cultural institutions are here, and having a space dedicated to sharing the stories of women who have made San Diego what it is so important.
Created in 1983 as the Women's Reclamation Project, the evolution of the Women's Museum of California has spanned over 40 years, from a private home to Liberty Station, and now in its final iteration as the Center for Women's History, part of the San Diego History Center, a merger completed this year.
So then these hidden stories are no longer hidden.
Melissa Jones is the public program manager at the History Center. She says it's important to show young people examples of what's possible for them by looking into a mirror from the past.
When young people don't have those examples, they don't really know what's possible for them.
She says her work is more than a professional experience for her.
I'm San Diego born and raised. I love this town, and I was a lifelong lover of history, active in Girl Scouts in my youth, and I came to this organization in my 20s, and I was shocked. I was like, how did I not know the Women's Museum existed? This would have meant so much to me as a kid.
Jones gives us an idea of some of the items being preserved: buttons, literature, clothing, and things you wouldn't expect to find in a museum, like this first-of-its-kind Kotex sanitary pad public marketing campaign for young girls.
It's an important part of our life and our history to collect this kind of stuff.
It's a new identity. It really is a new identity.
Tina Zarpour is the History Center's Vice President of Community Engagement, Education, and Collections. She says while it's great to have images like the ones she's showing us of women working in the canneries, Combining resources allows the museum to present a fully formed history.
Let's look at this one. This one looks like it's a little bit older. West Coast Fisheries, 1930.
She says what we don't see in these images is the other side of the story.
Are there, again, first-person accounts, either through diaries or through their descendants now.
And preserving their collection leads to quite a hefty energy bill every month.
So we have 2 cold rooms, a cold room and a less cold room.
Okay.
And there's an anti-room before it. So these are where we keep the negatives.
She takes us inside a basement storage room where the contents of seemingly endless filing cabinets are kept at a consistent temperature and humidity for preservation.
You can smell the chemicals.
Yes, that's the smell. It's called vinegar syndrome. It's the smell of the negatives, off-gassing and things like that. But this is part of our UT collection. And from this side, you can see the numbers and the subjects. They're arranged by date.
But it is the personal stories of women that make this collection so uniquely San Diego, like this diary entry written by a woman newly arrived in San Diego on a July morning in 1865.
Oh, the strangely foreign look as I stepped from my stateroom and stood on deck as the steamer came to anchor.
The hills were brown and barren, not a tree or a green thing to be seen. A most desolate-looking landscape.
That has changed.
And embracing change is what the Center for Women's History with the History Center wants to recognize, chronicle, and celebrate. Maya Trabulsi, KPBS News.
That's it for the podcast today. As always, you can find more San Diego news online at kpbs.org. I'm Lawrence K. Jackson. Thanks for listening and subscribing. By doing so, you're supporting public media, and I thank you for that. Have a great day.
Here in Southern California, we know all too well the devastation wildfires can cause. That's why our mission is to stop the next one before it starts. I'm Brian D'Agostino, leader of SDG&E's Wildfire and Climate Science team, and we've built one of the most advanced wildfire prevention programs in the country, with a team of world-class meteorologists using artificial intelligence and real-time weather data, all to help keep our communities safe. We're also building a stronger grid and using public safety power shutoff when necessary because, believe me, I've seen firsthand how unpredictable wildfires can be. But here at SDG&E, we face that uncertainty head-on to help keep you safe. Learn more at sdge.com/wildfire safety.